Hey everybody, this is Carl and welcome to March. You know, February sort of, I wouldn't say it took me by surprise, but February 1st just came really fast and it's a tiny little month, so I'm ready for March. I'm totally ready for March, and it's a nice long month, so we are actually looking at scheduling our end of month Final Friday meeting on the 29th, which is super cool because it literally gives us an extra week to get stuff done and to be able to report on that. So I want to talk about several things this month, and I want to start off with talking about the coolest, newest stuff. So a lot of people took Eric's class on disk management and disk profiles and so forth, and I have to tell you, if you missed it, you need to go download that class. He did 3 amazing presentations, and he really goes into detail of exactly what you need to know. This is like a no BS presentation. So I'm really happy with the way these 3-part classes are turning out, and I encourage you to use those classes, right? I mean, go get your value out of it. It's amazing. Your class for the disk profiles includes 1 disk profile for your company at no extra charge. So you get that as part of your value in the community. So if you haven't done a disk profile, send us an email and we will send you a code that you can use, and Eric will go over that with you. So, I mean, if you look at the cost of the disk profile plus a half hour of Eric's time, there's huge value there, and it costs you nothing. And not only that, when we talk about this being an exclusive thing in the community, you can no longer buy this. So you could have bought the original class for $99, but now it's not available on my bookstore, it's not available on Eric's site, it's not available anywhere. The only way that you can get that class is for free inside the community. So please do yourself a favor. Disk profiles are hugely profitable, and you've probably heard me talking about them. I used them in my companies for years and years and years, and you know, they're huge. In fact, at one point I was going to hire a salesperson, and I'd made so many mistakes hiring salespeople because I hate doing it. I hate managing them. I hate hiring the wrong person. And so I called on Eric. This is literally probably 10 years ago. And I called on Eric and I said, dude, you have to help me hire the right salesperson. And he helped me interview the person and give him the profile, go over it with him, go over it with me, make sure that he understood the sales process we were using, and made sure I understood what I need to look for when I hire a salesperson. So there's huge value in this. Please avail yourself of it. You've already got it as a member of the community. Now, other new fun stuff. So the break room is going strong. I know we don't have a ton of stuff there, but I want your feedback. If there's a show that you think is out there that's in the public domain, or if there's a movie that you want me to put up, I'm going to go ahead and put it up there if I can find it. I've already got a couple of super cool things. The Alita, Queen of Mars, is this 1924 science fiction movie, silent movie made in Russia just after the revolution. Very cool stuff. So check it out if you haven't seen it. And it's, you know, it's got a pretty decent story. Although I'm not sure I'd go all the way to Mars to help the workers overthrow the government of Mars. But, you know, whatever. It's still a good story. So the newest class that I have is actually something that came out of a conversation with a member of this community, and it is on making the move from break-fix to managed services, not just for you, but for your clients. Clients have a break-fix mentality, in part because that's what we taught them to have. And so you can't just say, oh, let me sell you the exact same thing on a flat fee. That does not work. And so we're going to look at that specifically. And I'll get back to that class in just a minute. But I want you to sign up for it. It's a free 3-week class inside the community. Also, starting March 19th, and I know that's a few weeks from now, but starting March 19th, I'm having my class on project management. This is a hugely popular class. Every time we offer it, I wrote a book with Dana Goulston, who is one of the literally kings of project management. He is one of the 3 authors of the PMBOK Book 3, and he sits on the board and must approve every single word, every change that's made to the project management body of knowledge. And so he co-wrote a book with me on project management and brought it down from 747s into what we actually end up doing in the small and medium-sized business space. Because let's be honest, a $7,000 or $10,000 server install is not the same as building a hospital. So, but that's a great class, and I promise you, you will get value out of it for 2 very big reasons. First of all, you get a massive discount. You know, these classes that I do every 5 weeks, you get $160 off the price of that class, which brings it all the way down to just $99. And that is something that, if you think about it, if you're paying $99 a month for your membership and you get $160 worth of value out of that, it pays for itself pretty quickly. The second thing is that I will show you in this class a way to literally guarantee that you never lose money on a project again. Too many times we don't manage projects properly, we just do the project. And so we start with how do you quote it, and then how do you go through putting it into stages and then putting it through your PSA, managing it through your ticketing system, and guaranteeing that you're on time and under budget for every project you do from now on. So check that out, and obviously you're going to receive an email about it. So there's that. The second thing, all right, so new stuff was the first thing. Second thing is community meetings. So in March, our final Friday community meeting is March 29th, and just last week we had the final Friday meeting for February, and it was very good. So if you didn't see it, you can always download the recording. I know you have other things to do with your life, but it's worth looking at. And I don't really do much of a presentation at all. I make a few announcements and I open it for questions. And so the Q&A this time was particularly good, and I want to thank Manny and some others for putting out some questions about how exactly we're supposed to get things done. And we did quite a bit of back and forth on that, and so I want you to join us next week, or at the end of the month. I want you to join us. Send in questions if you have them, or you can just wait until we're live and just ask your question then. You can turn on your camera if you choose, turn on your microphone if you choose. However you want to participate, you can, but we're going to do that every final Friday. So final Friday of this month is the 29th, and I really encourage you to come and ask questions and participate. Also, I highly suspect the people who were at the last couple are going to be there at the end of March, because it's really a great little experience. And so I got a lot of positive feedback on it, and I hope to see you there. The new class that I have is coming out of a question that was brought up during the Final Friday training. The question was, how do I get my clients to move from breakfast to managed services? I went through all of this stuff in your book. I got the 3-tiered price list. I practiced my speeches, but people are saying, look, I already get what I want, right? And if you recall from managed services in a month, the ultimate objection is, I'm already getting what I need, right? So you really have to address that. This entire class talks about what I call the managed services 2-step, which is there are 2 steps to getting your client into managed services. And the first one means you have to make some changes. So we talk about how you transition your company to offering the right things, to providing the right kind of services, the right kind of maintenance, getting your clients tuned into that, and then you can talk to them about managed services. If you skip over that middle step, then it makes it really hard for clients to go from break fix to managed services because you haven't done the work in the middle. So the entire class is to talk about how we do this as a two-step process. And it's 3 meetings, 30 to 60 minutes each, plus we're going to do Q&A, and I'm going to have some definite assignments for you. So, again, you've got that as part of the community. I highly encourage you to attend if you are still in the position of having clients on break fix and you want them to move to managed services. I'm also going to talk a little bit about what I mean by managed services. Amy Babinchak and I just recorded a SMB Community podcast, and we talked about how sometimes you go out to try to sell a new prospect and they've got an idea of what managed services means to them, and you don't get to control that conversation anymore. And so we need to have a way for you to come in there and say, let me tell you what managed services means to me, because it doesn't mean that we're going to do break fix work for a flat fee. We have a vision of coming in with our capes on and doing superhuman things that are absolutely amazing and spectacular, and that's what I want you to buy into, not getting the same old stuff and paying for it in a different way. So anyway, please, please, please check out the class. It's available now. If you are in the community, just go to the classes section and you'll see it. It is the Managed Services to Break Fix. It's got some happy face, smiley face, frowny face graphics going on. And when you see that, just click on that, and then you'll register for the Zoom link, so you'll get those classes. And if you're not in the community and you just happen to be watching this video, you can go to smbooks.com and you can join there, or I'm going to put up a blog post and you can click from there and pay $99 for it. Although, to be honest, I highly encourage you to pay $99 to join the community. So there's just that. Also, community meetings. So we are having these community meetings, and they're going to be not just the ones that we do online, but we've got some live community meetings. And I've got one that is March 5th, so it's coming up in a few days, and that's in Atlanta. Please join us if you can. I've been a little bit kind of like worried about the attendance for this, because we have a decent crowd, but I was hoping we'd have a much bigger crowd, especially since as a member of the community you can go for free. If you're anywhere within, driving distance of Atlanta, or if you're willing to fly, then you should come and join us. It is an all-day training. Eric Simpson's going to be there, Jennifer Fields, my brother Manuel is going to be there, Dave Seibert, Mark Smith. I know I'm forgetting somebody, and I'm going to get slapped for this. Amy Babinchak is going to be there. So anyway, we got a bunch of speakers and just massive, massive amounts of training. And I'm introducing a new format that, to my knowledge, I have not seen in an all-day training before. So I think it'll actually facilitate participation and learning. So please, please, please plan to join us in Atlanta, or if you can't, then April 29th in Chicago. And that's going to be at the CompTIA headquarters. So I'd appreciate it if you'd go sign up for that. Again, free in the community, $99 if you're not in the community. Third, I want to talk about getting your value out of this community. There's a whole bunch of people who signed up, but they haven't downloaded the hundreds of hours of audio programs. They haven't gotten the PDF versions of the standard operating procedures books, the project management book, the Even, Relax, Focus, Succeed. There's so much value in this community. And I know you're busy. I absolutely get that. But I'm just here to tell you, I am doing this because I want you to be able to buy at one reasonable price everything you need to be successful in your business. But you need to pick one thing, download it, try to implement it. The audio programs are particularly good because you don't have to make all those changes. You can listen to all the programs and then listen to the next and the next and the next, and at some point you're going to say, man, I just have to start doing this. And the goal is to help you be motivated and moving in the right direction and improving your business. And of course, in the community we have forums, so you can ask me a question, you can ask Amy or Eric or Manuel or anybody a question, and we will be happy to answer you. And some of the the forum leaders, such as Jennifer, I mean, they've been putting up stuff and saying, hey, you know, what are you doing about this? And what are you doing about that? And, you know, we haven't had a lot of participation. So yeah, I need to make sure that you get in there and get your money's worth. And, you know, because I can't force you to, but I would love you to, you know. And also, you know, we have a lot of checklists. We have a lot of stuff. And, you know, even if you say, well, Carl overinflates the value of this stuff. Okay, great. So say it's not $6,500. Say it's 10% less than that or 20% less than that. It's still massively more valuable than what you're having to pay for it. So please go get your value out of the community. Fourth, I need your feedback. I need to know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, what you'd like to see. Every once in a while, somebody will send me an email and say, oh, is there any way you could put this up in the community? And boom, I do. If I can isolate a product and stick it in the community, I do so as quickly as I can. Because, you know, whatever you need, that's what I want to give you. And so a lot of this stuff is pretty new and it's fresh. And again, I just need you to go in there and get it. And if there's stuff you don't care about, let me know. You know, if we don't get great participation in the live meetings in Atlanta and Chicago, then we may not do one for a while. You know, if we get really good participation, then we will do more. But I need to know. I need some kind of two-way communication, and the forums are a great place to do that. Fifth, I just have a random bunch of stuff that I want to show you. So first of all, if you haven't seen this graphic, this is the graphic for some new program that we have putting together, and I've got signs with this graphic, and I got a tablecloth that's going to be at Channel Pro, and my brother and I are doing a little thing on stage at all of the Channel Pro events. So please come see us. I'm enjoying this, as I always do, having some fun with both my promotions and just what I do in the community. Another thing, I don't have a graphic to show you, but your friend and mine, Harry Brailsford, is coming out with a new book. And I'm not supposed to tell you the title or anything, but it's delightful and you should read it. So as soon as you see that, I think he's launching really soon. I know that he has had to cancel a couple of appointments out in the community simply because he's like, man, I got to be head down and writing. I got to finish this thing. And I got a note the other day, the writing piece is done. And so now if you've ever had a book professionally published, you know what has to happen now is you send it off to an editor who says, oh, you mean there instead of there, and you mean thou instead of thee, and whatever. So they you know, they're like lawyers. They got to change little bitty things. And then it's got to go to be proofread, and it's got to be laid out, and it's got to be proofread again, and whatever. It's so, the writing is the first 98% of the book and takes 40% of the time. So anyway, that book will be out pretty soon. So keep an eye out for Harry Brailsford's new book. Also, there's kind of a refresh over at Sell My MSP, which is owned by Amy and Rayanne. And so go check that out. And if you're remotely interested in that topic, there's a couple of new things coming down the road. One is I'm doing a webinar with IT Glue at the end of March, and it's going to be specifically on how to thrive in this era of complete frenzy around mergers and acquisitions. So whether you're buying or selling, or you just want to stay out of the way and figure out how to be successful while all these other people are paying attention to the wrong things, I've got some really good information for you, and obviously that's a free thing from IT Glue, and I will be posting it up on my blog so you won't miss it, but go ahead and watch that webinar. The other thing is the class that starts in April. Rayanne has an absolutely brand new class, and for those of you who have taken her classes, she really is the genius of finances within the SMB community. She's an enrolled agent, she has an accounting firm, she has a managed service business, she manages finances in QuickBooks for a lot of MSPs, including she does for my company as well. And She's teaching a class on how to value your business, either for selling it or for just running it more efficiently. So it's an entire 5-week class on that. And of course, you'll get the $160 off of that if you're a member of the community. So that's going to be a really, really cool thing. That starts in April. So check that out. Finally, I want to make sure that you are talking about us in the community. You know, talk about the Small Biz Thoughts community. If you took a class and you like it, put it on Facebook. If you, got help on one of the forums, put it on LinkedIn. You know, if you engaged with one of the community leaders, put that on social media. We would love to grow this community, and part of how we do that is people need to be telling each other about it. Finally, I want to make sure that you come and see me at any of the events. If you hear that I'm going to be there, come to my table or come see me, and I will give you a name tag enhancement, you know, these little badges that go on the bottom of your name tag that says that you're a member of the Small Biz Thoughts community. So that's what I have. Welcome to March. Had to do this a day early to get it in and broadcast it on March 1st, but it's all new good stuff. Thank you very, very much for your participation. Thank you for your membership. Thank you for your support. And I look forward to chatting with you on the final Friday get-together. And with luck, I will see you in person, either in Atlanta or Chicago or somewhere along the way. Have a truly spectacular month. And if you have any questions, you can send me an email, send me a note inside the forums. And remember, just because you're in business for yourself doesn't mean you have to go it alone.